your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers, don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be our final day. We're dreamers, don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight, that look in your eyes.
Hello, everybody. So today we are going to remember Larry Lawrence Forbes King, also known as Latisha King, January 13, 1993 to February 14, 2008. He was a 15-year-old student at E.O. Green Junior High School in Oxnard, California, who was shot twice by a fellow student. 14-year-old Brandon McLerney, and kept on life support until 2 days later. Newsweek described the shooting as the most prominent gay bias crime since the 1998 murder of Matthew Shepard, bringing attention to issues of gun violence as well as gender expression and sexual identity of teenagers. Following many delays and a change of venue, the perpetrator's first trial began on July 5, 2011 in the Los Angeles district of Chatsworth. That trial ended on September 1st, 2011, when Judge Charles Campbell declared a mistrial because the jury was unable to reach a unanimous verdict. Prosecutors decided to try the perpetrator again, but dropped the hate crime charge. On November 21st, 2011, the perpetrator avoided the scheduled retrial by pleading guilty to second-degree murder, voluntary manslaughter, and use of a firearm. His plea resulted in a sentence of 21 years behind bars. Latisha King was born on January 13, 1993, at the Ventura County Medical Center in Ventura, California, to a 15-year-old mother who was addicted to substances and alcohol. King was half American. His biological father had abandoned his wife, and his mother, who was unable to care for King, resorted to activities of the night to support her children and her substance habit. 2 years later, King and his brother, who was a newborn, were adopted by Gregory and Don King. King was described King was prescribed medication for ADHD, and according to Gregory King, had been diagnosed with reactive attachment disorder, a condition in which a child fails to develop relationships with his or her caregivers. He was also forced to repeat the first grade. By the third grade, King began to be bullied by his fellow students due to his effeminacy, effeminacy and openness about being gay, having come out at 10 years old. At the age of 12, King was placed on probation for theft and vandalism after taking food from the refrigerator in the home where he was living. In November 2007, he was removed from his adoptive home and placed in a group home and treatment center named Casa Pacifica after he alleged that his adopted father was physically abusing him, a charge Gregory King denied. King found a marginally more accepting environment at E.O. Green Junior High School in the seventh grade. He hung out with a group of girls, however, was still ridiculed by boys in his gym class. Boys openly bullied him when he began attending school wearing women's accessories and clothing, high heels, and makeup. In January 2008, King's younger brother Rocky also suffered bullying because of his relationship with Larry. Some teachers believed King's manner of dress to be distracting and therefore a violation of school dress code. California anti-discrimination law prevents discrimination based on gender, including gender expression, so he was not prevented from dressing to his preference. In addition to dressing in feminine clothing, King had begun to ask to be called Latisha in the week and a half prior to the shooting. The school issued a formal notice via email to every teacher on January 29, 2008, written by 8th grade assistant principal Susan Parsons. It said, in part, we have a student on campus who has chosen to express his sexuality by wearing makeup. It is his right to do so. Some kids are finding amusing, others are bothered by it. As long as it does not cause classroom disruptions, he is within his rights. We are asking that you talk to your students about being civil and non judgmental. They don't have to like it, but they need to give him his space. We are also asking you to watch for possible problems. If you wish to talk further about it, please see me or Joy Epstein. In the months before the shooting, King began to respond in sustained harassment from his peers. He would tell boys who harassed him in the locker room that they looked attractive or ask if he could sit at their table in the cafeteria. Some boys reported to their teachers that he would tell them, I know you want me. Uh, I know you want me in the halls between classes. In court documents, prosecutors described these behaviors as a response to increasing aggression from other boys, particularly the perpetrator, with whom King had a number of verbal disputes in the weeks prior to the shooting. Several teachers and King's father accused Joy Epstein, one of the school's assistant principals, of encouraging King's flamboyance as part of a perceived political agenda. Okay, now, a 15-year-old, a 15-year-old kid, just for expressing who he is and who he was. I have a few little notations for for a lot of things in here, but I'm not going to do that. 15 years old for being who he was and for expressing who he was. Remember Latisha King, because there are many before him and there are many after him. I hope you enjoyed this video. I shall see you all again soon.